2024 Embiid was a monster. Just 1 year after he bested one of Jokic's best seasons ever to win MVP, he got even better the next year. 2024 Embiid was second all-time in points per minute. It's just him and Will. They're the only players in NBA history to average more points than minutes ever. He dropped 70 points in a game against Wemby. He was little broing Victor Wembanyama. He one-upped his MVP season to average 34 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists in less minutes than last season, and he was fourth in the DPOY odds until he got injured. Embiid came back in the playoffs and he even averaged 33 points per game. He dropped 50 points in a game in the playoffs, but he played 19 games next season, and it was clear that that injury might have ruined his career. He came back again this season, and in his debut, he only had 4 points. It looked like it was all over. And, I'm here to officially say, Embiid is back, baby. Let's go. Come on, baby. Embiid is back. Embiid is back. Yup, Embiid is officially back to form. I was hesitant to get my hopes up at first, but it's been almost 2 months since he broke back out. And just like the mountain, I kind of wish I knew how to quit Joel Embiid, but I just can't. Embiid is back to form, and that's proven by the fact that in Embiid's first 17 games, he averaged 23.4 points, 6.9 rebounds, and 3.4 assists on 56.5 true shooting percent. So he was clearly not his old self, but since then, he's averaged 30 points, 8 rebounds, and 4.6 assists on 64.5 true shooting percent. So there's been a clear upgrade in the back half of this season from Embiid, and it's been clear it's helping the team out. While Joel Embiid plays in 2026, the 76ers are 14-5. That's a 73% win rate. That would put them at the second seed in the East. And that's a 19-game sample size too. So it's, it's not like in the last 5 they've won 4. It's in 19 games they've won 14. That's a pretty big sample size. And all of their success recently has revolved around Embiid's return. So yeah, Embiid is back, but I want to talk about what this means for the 76ers as a team, what it means for their future, and whether or not they have a chance to win the championship this year. I mean, in terms of their team, it's been increasingly clear that this season, Embiid has a good cast around him for the first time since 2019, where they had Jimmy Butler and JJ Redick. Look at the seal and listen, don't you f***ing skip. All I have to say is on average, I get 1 subscriber every 60 views, and all I want is that number to become 1 subscriber every 50 views. So all that means is you listening have to subscribe. Okay, that's all I had to say. Goodbye. This 76ers squad has been vastly underrated this season. I mean, we've already talked about their leader, Joel Embiid, but their Robin is Tyrese Maxey. Their second option is averaging 29 points and 2 steals. So he's clearly a first option caliber player, but his biggest issue is, his efficiency. But when you add Embiid to the mix, Maxey starts shooting 40% from 3. He's still able to handle the ball like he does now, but now he's shooting 40% from 3 with Embiid on the floor. And then you go to the rookie VJ Edgecombe. He's had crazy flashes this season, but his number one struggle, like every rookie, is efficiency. But with Embiid on the floor, VJ has a near 10% true shooting leap. So when Embiid is on the floor, everyone is elevated. His gravity and his playmaking is so underrated. Embiid is clearly the missing piece, and as of recent, he's stepped into his role, and that's why the 76ers, may struggle without him. But just as a reminder, when Embiid is on, they've won 73% of their games in 2026. Moving on, their shooter, Kelly Oubre, is struggling this year. When Embiid is off the floor, Oubre is shooting 33% from 3. That's pretty nasty. His entire shot diet this season has basically been entirely threes, and he's shooting 33% without Embiid. But with Embiid, well, that's a different story. When Embiid steps on the floor, Oubre goes from shooting 33% to 48%. That's a 15% jump, and the craziest part is this is a two-way street. When Kelly Oubre is off the floor, Embiid shoots a stinky 24% from 3. But when Oubre is playing, Embiid shoots 40%. Kelly Oubre elevates Embiid more than anyone. Well, almost anyone. Oubre and Embiid have an on-off of positive 8.2 together. And that's better than Embiid and Maxey as a duo, who have a plus 7.2. But the best duo, according to on-off numbers, at an 8.4 are Joel Embiid and Paul George. Paul George is basically the definition of a wild card. He's been a weird fit so far. Specifically, Embiid and Paul George without Maxey on the floor is a plus 16.6. And without Embiid or Maxey on the floor, he's a plus 17.5. So he's clearly great with Embiid and on his own, but when you add Maxey, he's just almost undeniably worse. It's a really weird position that the 76ers have found themselves in, that Maxey and PG are straight up a bad duo together. I mean, there's a reason I'm not a head coach. I don't know how I would handle this. Nick Nurse has a bit of an odd situation on his hands. There's so much talent on that team, and all of them just need the ball in their hands. So I don't know how you handle that, but if they figure it out, they will be scary, bro. Paul George, Maxey, and Embiid is one of the most talented trios in the league. And then you also have the rest of the cast. You have Andre Drummond, who is a phenomenal backup. Shout out Dominic Barlow too. He's super underrated. If he keeps developing that jumper, he's gonna be phenomenal. Right now, he's only super productive with Embiid, so when Embiid is out, he's not that good, but he's really young. He's only gonna get better without Embiid. I'd keep my eye on this guy. And then you move on to Quentin Grimes, who can pop at any moment. He's been in a slump recently, but if Quentin Grimes locks back in, the 76ers are gonna be great. I really think if they can just get a few games where all of them play together, they could do something great. But could they win a ring though?
I do oyster stacks. Shuffles.
I mean, of course I think it's possible. This team is already the 6th seed, so if the season ends today, they'd be in the playoffs, and in the playoffs, it's any given night. But unfortunately, the season doesn't end today, and they're gonna have to ward off the Hornets for that 6th seed first. Either way, I expect the 76ers to make the playoffs, even if they land in the play-in. Just looking at potential play-in matchups, they'd almost certainly be playing against either the Magic, the Heat, the Hornets, the Hawks, and there's a small chance they meet the Bucks. With Embiid against the Magic, the Heat, the Hornets, and the Bucks, the 76ers are 4-0 against them. However, when Embiid was in, he lost both games to the Hawks, but even if they meet the Hawks, I have a lot of confidence in this team to make it out of the play-in. And then, obviously, the main issue is once you make it out, it's kind of hard for me to be able to say they compete with the Pistons or the Celtics with Tatum. Even their current matchup as the 6th seed would be the 3 seed Knicks, which would be a tough one. And the Cavs just got James Harden if they move up to the 5th seed. I mean, the top 4 in the East are just demons, but I will always believe in Embiid and the 76ers, no matter how much it hurts me. And even if it isn't their championship season, I think the future of the 76ers is pretty bright.
Watch, it never goes in and then he keeps running.
I think all the value in this season is just building to the next one. VJ Edgecombe is just a rookie, and he's a large part of this team's core. He's started every game, and he's only gotten better as the season has progressed. Maxey is just now entering his prime, and he's doing great, and hopefully the 76ers coaching staff finds out how to get him and Paul George to fit together, like I said. And then you move on to Dominic Barlow, who's been getting better every year, like I said, and he fits great with Embiid. Like, there's no downplaying how good he is with Embiid. And even Embiid is elevated by Dominic Barlow. They just play off each other so well. And of course, Embiid is going to be here for the next few years. And I don't think he's going to fall off like he did whenever he got a bad injury. I will say, in terms of the future, I think they're on a short timeline with both Embiid and Paul George, but the next season, and maybe a season or two after that, they really could be great building off this season. I mean, that's basically all I have to say. I was so sad last year when it seemed like Embiid fell off, but now I'm confident he's returned to the Joel Embiid we've all known. He's almost single-handedly extended the 76ers championship hopes for a few more years, and looking 2, 3, 4 years down the line when Embiid isn't going to be their first option anymore, they're still going to have Maxey and VJ Edgecombe. So in short, all hope is not lost in Philadelphia. Also, I want to shout out 76ers fans. Y'all are so much better than Eagles fans. You know, there's probably a ton of overlap, but it doesn't feel like it. 76ers fans are so much more chill. Okay, well now I'm talking about like football versus basketball team fan bases, so I think it's clear I'm out of things to say. Bye-bye.